We starting things early today. Here we go. What's going on, everybody? We're playing some Madden 19 today live here on youtube.com/MrHurriicane. How's everyone doing? We have my Tennessee Titans fantasy draft franchise getting back to action today. We're going to play probably 2 more games, sim 1 or 2 games, and then, the stream's going to be over at that point. But we're going to have some action here kicking off here very shortly. Welcome to today's action. Had to go a little bit early here. The lates hadn't popped up yet. I was ready. It was time to roll. How's everyone doing? He's on time. That's right. Changing the narrative here. So it's been a couple days since I have streamed this last, but now Madden 19 is officially released, and most of you, I'm assuming, have gotten a chance to try it out if you have wanted to. So leave your thoughts on Madden 19 so far in the comment section. I've been playing it, and there's some stuff I like. There are still some legacy problems that I have an issue with, but it does seem like a decent step forward in some critical areas. So, hopefully the next year of series on this game goes really well, because Madden 18 started out, I think, pretty slow. We still had some fun, I think, with the Bears franchise and my Browns series and the Matt series. So a lot of good stuff for Madden 18. Hoping for some better stuff on Madden 19. Got some super chats here rolling in. We got one from JT Golden. I had to leave the Matt Pierre video early to make it to the stream. Yeah, I gotta do a better job of uploading videos in a window where you can actually finish stuff before going on to the next one. I wasn't home, and then I got back and posted that and got ready to stream, so it was a little disjointed. Need to get ahead on some stuff so I can be like, hey, this video's coming 2:30, this video's coming 6 o'clock. That's what I really want to get to on the channel. David Guerra, thank you for the super chat. Have you figured out your franchise? Yeah, I haven't. I think this has been the toughest year for me to try and figure out which team I want to use. And it's because of the plethora of options. It's nothing to do with Madden. It's just the way the NFL is right now. I feel there are a lot of teams that fit, a lot of teams that offer what I like, which is a blend of players that are fun to use now, but the team definitely needs some work. And by the time we get to year 3, year 4, I want my mark to be left in the franchise in a major way. I want to have drafted and acquired players that are going to play significant roles. And I feel I can do that with so many teams this year. Whether it's NFC or AFC, I got to make a choice here pretty soon. Now, tomorrow what's going to happen is I'm going to post a video that will be breaking down 5 teams that I think are really interesting for franchise mode. And I think that making that video might help me come to my final decision as I go through and research the teams a bit deeper for you. I'm going to give you 5 teams to use in franchise mode. I'm going to try to find different reasons to justify each one, whether it be their cap situation, players they need, players they have, players to develop. I'm going to sell you on 5 different teams. A super chat now from Kawaii Nitro. Did you try the sliders I tweeted at you? I haven't tried any sliders yet. I liked the ones that you sent me. I saved them for later. I know Charter has posted at least an initial set, and this is the week I'll be testing out some of those sliders, and I think I'll do some slider test live streams if that's something that you're all interested in. I don't think I'll do it for the fantasy franchise. This is just for fun, for us to hang out, chill, and play some Madden. But I think that maybe a couple slider test streams might be what we need to do, so we can try out hopefully some sets that get us good gameplay. Rico, thank you for the super chat. That's very kind of you. Rico says one of the best YouTube channels out here. Hopefully 2 of the best. How's your day going? Going really well. Going really well. Good week here. Looking to gear up for some more content this week. I want to jump into the game now. I didn't have any sliders in the first place, but I kind of reloaded everything. I reset sliders. I imported the default set. I saved the new franchise file because just some things seemed weird with the gameplay. When you're seeing like animation warping and some stuff just seems off, that's what I do to reset things. I go through, I import whatever I was using for my settings, I import it, I save it as a new file, and I go into practice mode and run a few plays, and then I back out, and usually that kind of gets things grounded again. I don't know why. I'm not even sure anything about it. I don't want to call it placebo, because I can tell when the game's warping and doing weird things, and I can tell when it's fixed. So I fixed that issue many times. Sometimes I just have to do it every so often. Sometimes a patch does it. I can't really explain it. Super chat coming in here from Benjamin Thomas. Tell everyone to watch the Matt vid ASAP. Wow. After this is over, I recommend you watch the Matt Pierre video on my second channel, but you're going to have a choice to make. We all have choices to make in life, and I'm going to throw you a fork in the road. Which way are you going to take? On one side, you got the Matt Pierre Career Mode Series AFC title game. On the other side of that fork, you're going to have Bears Franchise Week 17 going live as soon as the stream is over. Thumbnail uploaded, tags, title description uploaded, end slate uploaded, cards uploaded. All I got to do is make the thing public, and you can watch it. Did you watch the Vikings game? I sure did last night. I really enjoyed it. Preseason football in general is not very, entertaining, but Vikings preseason football is very entertaining. How often do you see preseason games with 70 points? Most, Vegas spreads for preseason games are in the 30s. So the Vikings and Broncos basically put up 2 games worth of action in one game. It was really fun. Kirk Cousins looked good. None of you can make fun of me today, so we're just taking life day by day here in the world of Kirk Cousins being the Vikings quarterback. And he was promising yesterday, although he threw very few passes. But they were all very good. When will Twins return? They're going to return this week. I'll make sure I get a game in with them. Especially once I start wrapping some things up, it's going to be a lot easier. I've been making a Matt Pierre video every single day because I had so many to do. And so that's going to be done here pretty soon. Here's TJ Yeldon on the carry. I haven't seen TJ Yeldon much lately. David Guerra. Would you rather have Dalvin or Matt Pierre? Their skill sets somewhat remind me of each other. I think Dalvin has a bit more home run speed. I'm going to take Matt Pierre because look at what I've done with him. If I tried to do better, that'd just be greedy. Ben Roethlisberger here is the quarterback. And yes, the running game is very tough. Jack Tocho with that pick last night. That was a nice play. I want to watch the All-22 of that one. I'm not sure if Game Pass has the All-22s in preseason. I hope so. Because the broadcast view had that one cut off a bit. Also, Rock Thomas. The Rock Thomas. He had a very good game. Showed his ability as a receiver. I know that his 78-yard touchdown was the true highlight, but I'm more impressed by that first touchdown catch just because it showed how fluid of an athlete he can be when the pass, forced him to spin a little bit. He did so very naturally. The second touchdown that was 78 yards was basically given to him. It was just a block out in front. I forget who laid that block. I want to say it was Collins or somebody. But he looks like a natural receiver. And today, folks, no cashews. I have to take a little break. I'm not really looking for that flavor right now. So I took a little break. And today, as Dalvin Cook carries into the open field, we move on to the world of animal crackers. I have no idea what this animal is. I can't reveal the team. Oh, reveal the teams you're considering for Madden 19 franchise. I've kind of done that already. Dalvin, good run. But among the teams there are the basically the entire AFC East. Besides Patriots, we have Jets, Bills, and Dolphins. In the NFC, I've also been considering the Giants and the Cardinals. Got it. John Ross, possession receiver. Diggs or Thielen? I don't got to pick either one of those. I can pick both. The biggest problem is for defensive coordinators. Say you got one guy who's really good. One standout corner. Who are you shadowing? Do you shadow Thielen because he's just larger than Diggs? Or do you shadow Diggs just because he's Stephon Diggs? I gotta zoom this camera out. No wonder I felt out of sorts. Uh-oh, I had circle open. I wasn't looking his way though at the time. I might do a poll in tomorrow's video to see like who you would be most excited about. I would take some outside influence for my franchise decision. That could be fun. John Ross, possession receiver. Nope, broken up. What do you think of the way the players run in this game? Do you think it's off-putting and makes them seem really slow? To an extent. I kind of feel like the transition between normal running speed and the acceleration burst is like a little too much. It kind of feels like when you're in a racing game and all of a sudden you hit like nitrous. Got a super chat here from Jay Patterson. What is a realistic expectation you have for the Vikings win total? I'd say at least 10-12 wins. Will you do more vlogs? Vlogging is not really my kind of thing. I suppose if there was ever something I wanted to vlog, I would, but most of the time, it's not really what I do. Realistically, for the Vikings, I'm kind of expecting about 11 wins, so right about where you said. I think that with their tougher schedule, new quarterback, an improved situation in the NFC North with the Bears getting a little bit better, and we'll see what the Lions turn into, and a healthy Aaron Rodgers. I think somewhere in there could knock them down from where they were a year ago. They do have some tough games on the schedule as well. They play the Rams early in the season. They have the Packers and the Eagles. It's hard to win all those games in a row. Do you eat spaghetti? Yeah, I eat spaghetti. That's my favorite pasta. Who we got here? Brandon Marshall, D.D. Westbrook, Taylor Gabriel. This is not a very good receiving core here for the Patriots. What did you think about Cousins' performance? You can't poke any holes in what he did. He was accurate on all his throws. He was on time. He showed good accuracy. He didn't get to play many plays at all, but he did really well on the ones he had. Oh, good throw. Good throw. Robust Pickle sends a super chat. What about the Browns? On paper, they look like a 10-win team. I mean, I can't see them winning 10 games because that type of leap is... the odds aren't in their favor. And they still have a head coach who's gone 1-31 with them. Oh, broke it up. Now, their talent, like, there's no denying the talent. And I think the upgrade at quarterback with both Baker and Tyrod should give them a pretty good floor of, like... well, it is the Browns. That division can be really tough. I think their floor right now, like, I think they'll have 5 wins. I feel like they will not be the worst team in the NFL this year. They have a lot of talent, and eventually that talent should materialize. I remember when the Vikings got Mike Zimmer, and they had all sorts of talent, it seemed like. They still went 7-9 his first year. You know, I kind of thought that maybe things would go a little bit quicker in that first season, but it didn't happen that way. But, I mean, they have some players now who have a little bit more experience, like Jabril Peppers playing out in You know, lining up at Akron for free safety. And then Myles Garrett, of course. The offensive line, I mean, it's hard to... Teams who have good offensive lines don't tend to be bad because that gives you such a great advantage. But, I mean, Isaiah Crowell was their lead back, and he's average. They don't use Duke Johnson enough in the running games, so he's just kind of a receiver. Oh, and are sky punts like that still in Madden? That's got to get fixed. Let me call a punt here. I want to see what way the wind is blowing. And how much. 13-mile-per-hour wind. So they're still doing that. That's the first time I've had to encounter it. So yeah, sky punts. Still broken. Needs to be addressed in a patch. I might have to make a video compiling some of this stuff that needs to be fixed ASAP. Oh, I'm not actually punting on first down. Is it just me, or does he wear the same shirt from the last two videos? No, I think in the last one, didn't I wear a white one? I have a few different blue ones, varying thicknesses. Oh yeah, that Cousins to Stephon Diggs play, that was pretty incredible. That's one of those throws that I just don't... It's hard to even think about how you trust a throw like that. Both trusting yourself and then trusting a receiver who you've had very little experience with. Those are the kind of plays that if made consistently, that's what separates the average from the great. The average quarterbacks can consistently hit, you know, open targets, but Diggs wasn't open on that play. It was the throw. He was covered. Do you have your water bottle with you? Always. Always within striking distance. I'm really high on the Saints this year. I think they will win the division in the South, and I don't think it'll be that competitive. I see them winning it by at least 2 games. Oh, we got a deep shot. What's this? AB! No! It's intercepted by Artie Burns. Oh, man. You got the University of Miami product covering the Antonio Brown, who grew up in Miami. There's a little connection there. Thank you for the super chat, Van. Hey, Kane, what are your thoughts on Hard Knocks? I don't watch it. That's the thing. I hear about it, but it sounds interesting. I watched some of the clips online on NFL.com, like Carl Nassib and Jarvis Landry stuff. I think it's cool. I just think it's also very weird that it's even allowed to happen. I just feel like an NFL training camp. It's like, what if we were to do a TV show and we were just like in the board meetings of like different businesses? I guess we're not really seeing probably enough of a peek behind the curtain, but it's still weird to see the inner workings of that. But it's cool from a fan perspective. I just think that if I were like a coach or something, I'd just be like, this is a significant waste of my time. Last time you were high on an NFC South team, it didn't turn out well. That's very true, so keep that in mind, Saints fans. Roethlisberger's intercepted. That was a pretty cool play. We got the pressure there. Aqib Talib. Text don't fit in that box. So here it is one more time. We got a good rush off the edge. Roethlisberger can't get full velocity on this throw. It's a bit offline. Picked off by Talib. That's fun. I like that. Come on. He just fell down. Bo Scarborough just hits the deck. What was that? I was trying to get upfield with my guy here, Bo Scarborough. We run into our own guy with a juke, and then he just goes down, gives up. Dom, thank you for the super chat. Would you recommend others play Madden 19 over 18? For what I've seen so far, I think that Madden 19 is going to be a more fun game than 18, and if you didn't have like either one, say you were playing 17 or something else, or maybe nothing, I would definitely pick 19 over 18. And considering where this game is at launch compared to Madden 18 at launch, I think it's in a better spot, much better. Well, I missed a super chat. I'm sorry about that. I keep thinking I've seen them all. Brandon, thank you for the super chat. I'm sorry for missing it. When will you choose your franchise? I want to have a team selected this week, so reveal probably late in the week. I'm not sure how long it's going to take for me to actually select who I want to use, but tomorrow we're going to get a lot closer. I know that. Super chat here from Lucas. Thank you very much. Hey, Kane. Hello from Brazil. I'd just like to congratulate you on your work with both your channels and especially the sympathy with your subscribers. Thank you, Lucas. The channels have, been doing pretty well, and I've had a lot of really good content on the series, I think, this year with the new series I've done over on my second channel, and then doing the franchises and dynasties over here. Love the content that I make, and I like how positive all of you are in the community. It's fun to come in here and have a mostly clean and fun to interact with chat. It makes it fun to come on here and stream when I'm not, this isn't something super serious, and that's why I like coming on to stream, because you guys all make it fun. This isn't something I'd normally just play on my own. I like my other franchise, but oh my. You got lost there. Touchdown AB. So yeah, hats off to all you guys for all the support. Almost forgot to like the stream. Oh no, you can't forget to like the stream. If you're liking the stream, you should also prove it with a like. Some of these fades, the DBs, let's see. Who we got out here covering him anyway? Devin McCourty. I know McCourty's awareness is not low. It was just weird to see him kind of hesitate there for a moment, like he forgot what to do. Kane, who's your favorite rapper? I wouldn't say I have a favorite rapper anymore. It's changed a million times throughout my life, I guess. If I had to pick nowadays, I'm not even sure I could. Just because I don't stay up to date on music, and there isn't anyone whose album that I just have to, listen to. That and my taste in music has drastically changed. I'm more into a lot of indie pop, I guess would be what I'm kind of into. Like if any of you listen to like Matt and Kim, that's kind of the stuff that I like to listen to these days. Bobby G, thank you for the super chat, mate. I love your channel and the series. Thanks for the graft and keeping great series rolling out. Go Matt Pierre. Go Matt Pierre indeed. I'm glad you're enjoying the series. We have a lot of fun stuff going on the channels right now, and I really want to find some good stuff to launch on Madden 19. I feel with the Browns series and the Matt Pierre series, I got a high bar to clear to top those. And then with franchise, I feel like I have to do so much better this year because the Bears kind of seems like a bit of a letdown. Not completely, but in my eyes, it is a little disappointing. I feel like there weren't enough great games. I feel like there weren't enough seasons. Hopefully Madden 19 is a smoother experience and one that we get more out of. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Dalvin lost his footing. These hits sound so loud. They are loud. This game has, like I've said in the past, it has some attitude to it. It feels like a more physical game. Let's get some power running on third down. Nice hit. Nice play. See, those are the kinds of plays that I wanted to see more often this year because I feel that linebackers and defenses in general were a bit passive in Madden 18. So what we got here, we got Lavonte David. Real good player. Sheds the block of the fullback. Bang. Down goes Dalvin Cook. I love that. And especially someone of Lavonte David's caliber going up against like a 70 overall fullback. Yeah, that's beautiful right there. That's Madden 19 in a good light. Yep, I will be doing a sim series like the Browns this year for sure. I feel that it really rejuvenated Madden 18 for me. In a year where franchise didn't see many upgrades, I found a new way to experience the mode, and it made it really refreshing. Love the Browns series. One of my favorites. Van, thank you for another super chat. Last of Us 2 playthrough on your channel. I'm not really looking to do a lot of non-sports gaming content. I think if I were to do something like that, I want to do it more of a streaming capacity because I think it would be more fun. I'm not even sure when The Last of Us 2 is going to be hitting. I'm guessing 2020 holiday season, I would say. Classic MrHurriicane blue shirt on with another one hanging behind. Yeah, that's sweatshirt. A couple mornings have been cold. I do tend to wake up early, so I usually see it the day at its coldest. And sometimes it's only like, I don't know, 60 degrees outside, and after you're used to like 90, it doesn't feel too pleasant. Especially because I try to start every day with like a 20 to 40 minute walk outside. A few years ago, I started just like taking walks. Started like listening to audiobooks, started going for walks. Just because I wasn't really getting any exercise that much anymore. And I wanted to be doing something. And it became like one of the most important things to me. I find it to be like one of the most relaxing things to be away from. I got, 4 different screens in front of me right now. I got a webcam, a microphone. I always have a million distractions and whatnot. So to be able to go out and go for a walk, it's like one of the most important things to me. And sometimes it's cold out. It's also a big reason why I'd like to find a new place to live, honestly. Because I can't... I have to live different lifestyles depending on the season. No cashews today. We're rolling with animal crackers. Did you watch the preseason games? I've watched a good bit of them, especially the Vikings game. Also got to watch like Baker Mayfield and the Browns game a bit. There were a couple more I watched. I was watching the Cowboy game. I'll have to catch up on some of the stuff I missed, though. A lot of them are playing all at the same time. What do you look for when choosing a team for your franchise? I look for a good blend of players that I can have fun with when I start that franchise, and then I want a good chance to leave my mark on the roster. I want the team to resemble me in a way after a few years. I want it to be, I got these linebackers, I got these DBs. I like when I can do a lot to change a team up. That kick is drifting wide right. It is no good, and we're still pitching a shutout. Jay, thank you for the super chat. When do you plan on the MrHurriicane Hall of Fame? You have a lot of good picks for that. I got so many good picks for the MrHurriicane Hall of Fame. As far as when it begins, I don't know yet. Definitely not going to be around launch time on Madden 19. I was hoping to do it this summer, but obviously haven't gotten around to it. It might be one of those things that when the channel gets simplified a bit, I'll talk about some future plans for the channel here. These are things that I've just been thinking about for a long time as far as where I want the channel to go for the future. But I do think that where I want to go with this channel is to take down the number of series I do. At this point, I'm thinking that Kalispell is going to be my last dynasty, at least for a while. And then I think the Twins franchise will be my only franchise on MLB. I think at some point I'm going to get it down to just like a franchise on Madden that gets an even greater focus. And then that gives me a chance to also sprinkle in like wish list videos, MrHurriicane Hall of Fame, and some other one-off stuff that'd be a little bit easier to do, easier to manage that way. So it's not set in stone or anything, but that's kind of what I envision. I don't even know the time frame for that, but I think that Kalispell and Twins will be the last series of its kind, at least for a while, because I think it would be nice to have a time where, especially if franchise gets a lot better. Like, I don't think it's going to be this year. I'm not done with those series. I still want to do a lot of Twins and a lot of Kalispell. But say Madden franchise and Madden 20 is like really good, and maybe Kalispell and Twins have run their course by that point. Might be the only series that I even do. I know I got super chats to catch up on. I don't want to break my train of thought right now. Ah, man. A super chat here from Anthony. Hey, Kane, any idea what position you'll do for a career? It seems like player lock is gone for defensive positions unless I'm stupid and can't figure it out. Well, I know there's a way to player lock on defense when you're controlling the entire team. I don't know if they took player lock camera out, because here it is on offense. Here's me controlling Larry. Let me experiment a little bit on this next play. Let me go no huddle so I get a full play clock. I wonder if it has to do with the camera I chose. Oh no. I'll have to figure that out. But there is a way to player lock on defense. I just don't know if it affected player only deal. Slant, caught, Larry, touchdown. As far as what I will, as far as the position, right now, I think I'm kind of leaning toward linebacker or safety. I just think defense would be really fun, and I love being able to, you know, just intercept passes and make all kinds of plays there. So this week, when Matt Pierre gets all wrapped up, it's going to be who's next. And so after Matt Pierre is over, we're going to go through and play with a variety of players in a player lock setting for a game. And I'm going to use that as a way to decide on what I want to do next. A team that resembles Kane, so 53 running backs. Hey, that would work. That would absolutely work. I've thought about doing something like that. 1 second. I want to see just how much of a delay we're on right now, just because some of the replies seem a little bit behind, which isn't a huge problem. I just would like to know. It's not too far. Whoops. Into traffic, incomplete. Cameron, thank you for the super chat. Hopefully this can cover your next can of cashews or box of animal crackers. It will. Thank you very much. Thank you for contributing to my snacks. Big bang. Underneath. Big hit. Nicely done. Are you going to do another player lock franchise like the Vikings one? No. I feel like that series, what I wanted that series to become might not be as good of an idea as I thought it was going to be. And I like what I have with the Browns instead. I feel that it's better in like every way. But I think that doing the Vikings series led me to find some other things that worked. Like when I did that little Lions series last year, and I did, obviously, the Browns rebuild. I feel like it was kind of a stepping stone. Here we go. Single coverage and knockdown. That's a good play. Don't pick that, because now I get turnover on downs at the 25. The Browns series has been amazing. Thank you, Bobby G. Do you get kicked out of franchise when you withdraw an offer from soon-to-be free agents? Haven't seen that happen to me yet, no. Can you play Marquis Cole for one game? Marquis gets on the field every now and then. You will see him a little bit today in the Bears video. I'll say that much. Cam short, complete, got it. Who's Anderson? I don't even remember drafting him. Oh, Steven Anderson. There we go. Rolling out, Cam. Ooh, I like that. We're going to watch that one here. A super chat here from 27 Super Yankees. Hey, Kane, what have I missed? Just a lot of Q&A so far, and then, just a few nice possessions here for us, and a lot of bad possessions for the Patriots in this game. What I like here about AB is the way that he kind of swims over the top here, doesn't just run into him. Doesn't really need to use this animation in this spot. He had him kind of cleared. It looked cool from the regular angle we were at, but they can't contain him. No chance. Quarter length recommendation. I play on higher quarter lengths, but not everybody wants to play, sim length like me. And if you don't, I completely understand. My games are really long, and I feel like I would prefer a game that would last an hour, but I wouldn't have the stats and the plays and everything how I like it. That'd be fire. Do a Ja'Cory Day career? I'm considering it. I might do offense again, and Ja'Cory would be a player I would maybe do. Is it me or is it hard to run the ball? It's definitely hard. I don't think I've ripped off any long runs on the CPU yet. Nothing significant. What's the win-loss record? On our team here, we're 5-2-1. We've won every game that I've played. But I've simmed 4 games as well. But as far as a quarter length, I'd recommend, if you're going to keep the play clock runoff on default, I would try 10 minutes. I would try getting a game that gets you close to, I'd say, 90 to 100 plays. That can be really enjoyable, and I think it's a bit more optimized for a game like Madden. That's around what the Vikings franchise was. That wasn't exactly sim length. It was closer to 90 to 100 plays a game instead of 120 plus. 3rd and 3, Big Ben, undercut. Covering everything. We got a super chat here from JT Golden. I've noticed defensive back movement is a lot better in this game. They break on out routes a lot more frequently, even on lower difficulties. Yeah, I've come to the same conclusions, and the way I describe it is all pro coverage feels like all Madden coverage of the past, with less cheating, where I haven't seen DBs run my route before the receiver can. But as far as breaking on the ball and keeping windows tight, yeah, we've come a long way in that regard. And that's part of why the CPU struggles so much. They made the game tougher overall, but the AI for the computer hasn't been able to compensate. The CPU AI does not seem different. The way they run the ball, the way they pass the ball, I think it's identical to Madden 18. I don't see any improvements with their habits, with their timing. Like, the quarterbacks in here look like Madden 18 quarterbacks. And if the game is harder, how do you get them to play better? It's a tough thing for me to figure out. There's an open look. They finally got one. I've gotten this question a lot. I don't mind answering it. That was the weirdest coverage setup we ever had. Sam asks about teams I picked for franchise. What I more so want to comment on is the second part of your question, which is it always seems like you pick the perfect team each year to try and mold into a superpower. I think it just plays out like that because I'm able to draft players that help take us to the next level. I feel like you can do that with just about any team. It doesn't have to be the perfect team necessarily. There are a lot of teams that need help. There are only so many teams that are top tier. So if you picked the Cardinals or the Jets or the Seahawks, I feel like you could get a similar experience where you go from a team that might need some help to a team that now feels like a superpower. So I guess using a team that needs your help to get to the promised land is the whole key. So the Patriots finally got on the board, but it's not looking too good for them. Oh, he just dives down and picks it up. I'd like some more realistic onside kicks, too, with the whole hop and everything. What has been the best play you have seen in a game you have attended at the stadium? Mine has been the fake punt return in Week 17, Bears at Vikings. Oh, that was really cool. I remember that play. I remember there being a weird play. Was that the one where Pat O'Donnell threw a touchdown? Or that was the first game they played last year at Soldier Field. They had another play that might have gone to Cohen or somebody. I can't remember exactly, but I know what you're talking about, just that moment. I can't remember the play. Need to watch it again. As far as games that I've been to, any cool plays? I haven't been to a ton of games. I remember going to Eagles-Vikings in the postseason, not this last year, but back in 2008. And Asante Samuel's pick six. That was a pretty cool play for a not Vikings fan. Yeah, we're just going for it. 4th and 6. AB, you got it. Am I going to do a wrap-up episode for the Browns series? I'm probably going to do something else for it. I just don't know what yet. I'm kind of letting the video breathe a little bit, the last one. I'm going to read some more feedback. And then decide how I want to wrap up the series because we got to start advancing. Is there a certain format to your Hall of Fame? Not one that I have detailed yet. I tried to squeeze it in there. I guess the only thing that comes to mind right now is I want it to be all players that have like been drafted, or I would prefer players who have been drafted or have been recruited. But at the same time, it's like, do I deny someone like Alphonso Smith? I'm not sure if that's possible. I know that was only one game, but it was a pretty big game. go. We got a pick here on the final play of the game, and we got zeros on the clock. All right. Jack, you got some series requests here. You want to see a Jets franchise, a Dolphin rebuild, and a Ja'Cory Day free safety cornerback career. Free safety cornerback. After one pick, we want to see Ja'Cory give up the life of an offensive playmaker to play DB? He wants to go the Tony Lippett route? I don't know about that. Have you gotten used to the running yet? I feel like I'm getting there, especially with the whole acceleration burst and understanding how that works a little bit more. Like I said, you should go into practice mode, offense only, and get a feel for it there without defenders around you, and just see how it works with nothing in your path. Is there any chance of some NBA 2K on the channel? There's a chance this year that we do some more streaming. We'll see. What does the game come out, like early October, late September? I know that all the releases have been pushed up. I'm just not familiar with theirs as much. $27 Super Yankees back again with a super chat saying, bold prediction, there will be an NFC team that goes 11-5 and misses the playoffs like the Patriots in 08 because the NFC is so deep and competitive. I like it. The NFC is deep and competitive. When you look back at last year, you got the Vikings. I think, with the Vikings, Eagles, Rams, and Saints. What a conference. All those teams, I think, would be worthy Super Bowl contenders. And if any of those teams made it to the Super Bowl, I think they have a good chance to win. But then behind them, you got to have two wild cards, and you're going to have the Packers with Aaron Rodgers. You're going to have the Falcons and Panthers vying for that. You're going to have the 49ers on the rise. You're going to have the Seahawks, who could still be a nuisance with Russell Wilson being as good as he is. You got Dallas and New York. Washington's a good team, too. I'm not even sure who's going to be fourth place in the East. Fourth place in the East might be an okay team. And then you got the Bucks. We're just kind of chilling. The Lions, Bears. The NFC is so stacked. Even the bad teams are going to be at least annoying. Like, no one's going to think that playing against the, say the Chicago Bears, no one's going to be like, oh, this is a cakewalk. I mean, they're going to be annoying. They've had some good defenders. Now they got some firepower on offense. Even the Buccaneers, it's like, well, you still got to deal with O.J. Howard and Mike Evans, two players that can rip your secondary to shreds. And now they added some pass rush, so now that's a problem. Arizona is probably one of the teams I think is least threatening because of their new quarterback situation and the fact that they have like 3 superstars and then just a bunch of guys. Some that I like Budda Baker, but that team isn't very scary right now. John Ross. $27. Oh, I already got that one. JT Golden, super chat. What do you think about the Ravens this season? It depends when they get Lamar Jackson onto the field, because I'm not excited about anything regarding Joe Flacco in the year 2018. I feel like that division is kind of up for grabs. I feel like if they could definitely compete, I feel, with the Pittsburgh Steelers for the title. I think Pittsburgh will take it, but I think that Baltimore can be within a game or two of them. And if they can, get lucky in a head-to-head and whatnot, then they can take it. But I just don't really feel confident in them if they keep playing Flacco and keep having a mediocre offense like they've had for a long time. I have to watch Lamar's second start. I didn't get around to that one. Whoops. Couldn't get out there. Pedro, thank you for the super chat very much. Pedro says, what's the position for your next series and name? Like I've kind of been talking about, I don't have anything settled yet. Right now, I'm kind of feeling like defense might be what I want to do. I'll see if it's fun. I'll see if everything works out how I hope it does. And in that case, it could very well be a Michael Tate series. That's been requested now for over a year. Road to Glory I did a couple years ago on my second channel when I transitioned the type of content that I did. So, it could be that. If it's not, then I'm even more unsure. But I'm going to try some linebacker, want to try some safety. And if all else fails, maybe go back to offense. Do a Dynasty stream series like Blackjack does with Festivus. I feel if I did a stream series in like a franchise or a Dynasty, I'd want it to be something like that. Something that is more of a challenge, something that is a bit more off the wall. Not something like Kalispell or Bears. I feel like I'd want to do something off the rails. And I love Blackjack's Festivus series. It's hilarious. You should have a quarterback series. I've done it. And I would consider doing it again. But I prefer to play other positions. Alex Smith launches the pass way downfield, showing off his arm. And does so a little too far. Super chat again from JT Golden. Thank you very much. Will you start this season or put your creative player in a custom draft class and see where they get drafted? I never even thought of that. That's a really good question and a really good idea. It would require me to skip the first year, essentially. But wow. I think I would put them on a team, but that is surely... Wow. I didn't think about that, but it's totally something that you could do. I'll look into that. Will you use Blackjack's draft class? I know Blackjack's draft class. He's working on a big project, and it's going to be really cool. Oh my. Wide open! Thank you! I'm not sure we're going to make it. Oh, the juke! No! With the draft class that Blackjack is doing, I'm not sure if I'm going to be using it because I kind of wanted something that was custom with prospects that I'm creating or that I want in my series. Like, one player who would definitely be in there is Jesse Heikkinen. So, I want to have a class that has players like him in there. And also, I would like to have a class that only I have because I don't want spoilers when it comes time for me to pick players or scout, and I don't want to see comments of like, so-and-so is a superstar, so-and-so is a 78 overall. I feel like that would kind of wreck some of the enjoyment. Am I going to import real prospects? I'm not planning on it because I do prefer my experiences to have unique players. I feel like it's been a lot more fun drafting Harlan Regis, Reggie Shepard, Nate Bell over drafting Odell Beckham, Jamel Fleming, and the like. It's all been fun, but I feel like it's been more fun to have someone that isn't tied to anything else. breaking everything up. Alex Smith 0 for 4. Yeah, I'll play a long shot at some time, but I'm probably not going to do a series on it. I enjoyed the first long shot for what it is, but I'd much rather see a larger emphasis on franchise and expanding that, and maybe a real career mode series and not just what we've had for years. We got a good blitz out there. That ball is also incomplete, so Smith is now 0 for 5. Yes, we did win the other game. Pretty handedly, too. Am I going to do more positions in Madden 08 Superstar and work on your 40 time? I got to get better at the 40-yard dash. That's bugged me now for a decade that I can't do it. But yeah, I will be doing more players like I've done with Bryce Wiley, with 1 year, one-off series. I'm going to do them one at a time. I know right now I haven't posted Bryce in a little bit. Madden 18 or Madden 19 is new, so I've been scrambling with a lot of stuff. But after Bryce, we'll find the new player on a new game. I'm going to do some on NCAA. I'm going to do some on older Maddens. And I'll leave a lot up to what the community wants to see. How many players do you want to add to your draft class? I think somewhere between 10 and 20 per class would be reasonable. Because I don't need a fully custom draft class. I still want, you know, the next Nate Bell to be found and whatnot. But to take college players that maybe we just didn't get to see enough of, or we want to see their journey continue, like a Jesse Heikkinen, that's where the feature comes in for me. What do you think about taking screenshots in Madden 19 so far? I've liked getting thumbnail shots and whatnot for the game. Very similar to everything in Madden 18, so it's all working well. A fullback series? Hey, if I can get a left tackle series off the ground, I can totally do a fullback series. We've shattered any kind of barrier with that now. I have a series with a left tackle that people love. I think a lot of it was like the shock value of like, wait a minute, he's doing a series with a left tackle, I gotta see this. Mr. Bucks Nation sends a super chat. You're picking the Bucks for Madden 19, right? I've been considering them. You know I like that roster. You know I thought they'd be good last year. I'm kind of sad the Bucks aren't trending higher right now. When they go and draft O.J. Howard and Chris Godwin in the same class, like, of course I had to get excited. I think Godwin's going to have a nice breakout year. I feel like he's going to make Deshaun Jackson a bit more of an afterthought. Look at that bubble screen to Larry Fitzgerald. Probably not the right player to do it to. Do a punter superstar mode. See, that might be the biggest challenge of all. How do I make that interesting? Where there's a will, there's a way. Ooh, we've seen some good hits out of this secondary. Go with the stretch play. We got, I was hoping we'd stick to that block a little longer. Now, Madden 18, it was really easy to break off the long runs and to get into the second level and put a spin on somebody. Much tougher this year. This is not all Madden. This is all pro default. Oh, got a good blitz. Zadarius Smith. He was same team as Bud Dupree, right? Or am I getting things mixed up? Who was Zadarius Smith teammates with? Also at edge rusher. Because I know that I kind of preferred Zadarius Smith to the other player. Maybe not like in overall talent, but I thought like in terms of value. Got ourselves a touchdown. Jimmy Graham. I was also like that when Marcus Golden and Shane Ray are both coming out. I was like, I just like Golden better as a player. I'm not sure I voiced that anywhere, so I guess hard for me to back it up. But I preferred, when I watched them a little bit, I preferred Golden. Under 2 minutes to go. Watch out, it's intercepted. Got ourselves a takeaway, up 14-0. Brent Grimes. I don't think they need a story mode like NBA 2K has. I feel like they just need a mode that follows your player better than it does now. Something closer to Road to the Show than 2K's My Player. Or even Road to Glory. Oh, bad. Let's get some music going here. Let's liven the party a little bit. Oh man, tried to check it down, and I'm just getting destroyed here. Jabal Sheard. Smith and Dupree were both teammates at Kentucky, that's right. $17-0. Do I think Brady will retire after this year? I think if they win a Super Bowl, the answer is yes. I think if they don't win a Super Bowl, then maybe. We're just so used to Brady not retiring that I think that we stop asking the question, even though every year it's like closer to yes. So, I feel like this could be it. I don't think Brady doesn't seem like the type of guy who would play after he falls off a cliff. Not with all he's achieved and everything. I can't see him. You know, he's not like a decade removed from his ring like Peyton Manning was. Smith is 0 for 7. Here we go again, downfield. Another miss by Alex Smith. He's 0 for 8. Saw a good question here. I lost it. How would you switch teams if your player doesn't get picked by the team you're on? Oh, that's not a big issue. It would actually be a larger issue if he was drafted to the team I was on. So say I was controlling the Tennessee Titans, and then I made a player because I wanted, say I made a free safety. I wanted to play with whatever team he got drafted by and control him. What I would do is I would already have a team made because, or I already have a team selected because I'd have to. So we do the draft, we'd see who we ended up with, and then I would just hit R3 to add another player to my league. Because you can control owners, coaches, and players as long as you leave all those options open. And then I would just select my new safety, retire the coach, and now it's a safety series. This was a cool maneuver here, by the way. AB. Kind of gets stuck here. Maybe it wasn't as cool as I thought, but he kind of went underneath them. But then he stumbled, so he couldn't go anywhere from there. I want to see how far Cam can throw it in this game. Oh my goodness, so much rush. When will the next Bears game drop? As soon as this stream is over, a Bears franchise video is going up. It's already uploaded. It's already prepped to go up in live. So as soon as the stream is over, you'll have that to watch. Would you ever do a defensive coordinator league by playing defense only? A lot of people have wanted me to do something like a coaching carousel where I start as an OC or a DC. And I just don't know if that would really be my kind of thing. But I guess I've never tried it. So let's hypothetically say that like I start at, say, Kentucky as an offensive coordinator. And I guess I play as them. And eventually we get pretty good, and then I can move on to maybe a better team than Kentucky. All of a sudden now we're like Auburn OC, and then we do well there, and then become head coach somewhere, maybe not a great place, maybe a team that needs some help. I guess that would kind of be cool because we get familiar with different teams. And we just have to make things work with the talent that we had. So I guess I'm kind of talking myself into it now. It kind of sounds fun, actually. Third down and 5. It's floated, and Alex Smith has just completed his first pass of the day. Do you think the Rams are going to get somewhere with Aaron Donald soon? It seems these things always end with the player getting paid big money, so I'm going to say yes. Scratch that. The one exception is for running backs. They do not get what they want. So I think that Khalil Mack and Aaron Donald will stay on their respective teams. It's just there's a lot of nonsense going on, I feel, because these teams are in no way, shape, or form ready to... How do you negotiate? How do you feel like you have any leverage against players who are like the best of their positions? Like, they got you right where they want you. Now just give them the $100 million and get on with your day. Will OBJ get the one he wants? Yeah, he will. Absolutely. And it will be from the Giants, too. I don't know. It's always the same old song and dance with these teams and these highly touted players who want big contracts. Then you got the Minnesota Vikings over here, who I feel like they're one of the teams in the league that's best at just like keeping players, keeping them healthy, and avoiding contract disputes. The Vikings never have anybody holding out. The Vikings just, you know, they sign Harrison Smith, they sign Xavier Rhodes, they signed Danielle Hunter, Everson Griffin. I mean, Anthony Barr is the one now they haven't signed yet. I mean, it could still happen. But look at all the players they have taken care of. And it's not like Barr's like the best linebacker in the league. But it's like these teams want to mess around with players who are, you know, if you wouldn't trade them for a first-round pick because you wouldn't trust yourself to replace them. They're that valuable. You wouldn't trade Aaron Donald for a top 5 pick. It'd be ridiculous. You're not going to get a player better than Aaron Donald as a top 5 pick 9 times out of 10. So I feel like it's just a bunch of noise and nonsense. I need to go back to Minnesota to see Mall of America again. I love it there. Mall of America is a good time. I want to make sure I'm all caught up here. I know sometimes I look away from chat for a little bit, especially when I have a thought that I want to complete. I did miss one here, but I kind of answered the question a little bit from Loroto. A super chat asking, will this be Brady's last year? What happens after? Like, I think it will be. But it might not, because I know he takes good care of his body. He's still playing at a high level, so maybe not. But he can't play forever. Or maybe he's the first. I am playing on All-Pro Default, and the CPU is not giving me a good enough challenge today, especially with Alex Smith. I was hoping they'd throw a little bit better on this setting, but they are being very, very bad. Tell Blackjack to add Greenberry Jr. as a prospect. A lot of you want to see like Perry Cummings Jr. and whatnot. Brian, thank you for the super chat. How are you doing, Kane? Greetings from Germany, Nuremberg. I like streaming at earlier hours, so those of you in Germany and other parts of the world can also spend some time here. I know I used to stream at night predominantly, so it was harder for those in other time zones outside of the United States. But I mean, I get a lot of interaction from people outside of the US. And it's probably because I do a lot of content at this time, so it's more convenient for you to find it in the first place and more convenient for you to come back, so that's awesome. Dalvin, oh my, oh come on. Do you think if you had played with Perry Cummings every game in the Browns rebuild, he would have won MVP multiple times? I feel on Madden 18 especially, Perry Cummings is a cheat code. Look at what I've done with Tariq Cohen. Now give me a player who had like 97 speed and was basically jacked up in every way compared to Cohen. And then look at what I've done with Matt Pierre. Like, if you gave me Perry Cummings for 16 games, I'd have to get a whole new slider set. Hey, what's up, Sneaky P? Doing pretty well. Just playing some fantasy franchise here, getting more familiar with Madden before the real franchise fun begins. Here we go, deep shot, John Ross downfield. Oh, man. What are you thinking of things so far, Sneaky? Brian G, thank you for another super chat. It's midnight here. Yeah, I know it's not super convenient. A lot of times I stream a little bit earlier, like a couple hours earlier. Didn't work out today, but I guess midnight is doable. Like, I watch content at midnight sometimes. And I know that from the super chats, I've seen like a variety of currencies, so I know that we got a lot of people outside the United States here. Will I ever do Road to Glory again? Absolutely. But it might not be in a full 4-year capacity. Wow, Cam, that was interesting. It might only be for 1 year because I want to do some more experiments where I, just take one player, play for a season with him, move on to the next one. Jimmy Graham does not feel very fluid in this game. I keep thinking he's a blocking tight end. Ryan sends another super chat. Sneaky P, how you doing? Long time no see. He's sneaky like that. Sometimes you don't even see him. They need to clean up some of these bugs, but if they do, I think it could be the best gameplay we've had in years. Still like to see more in-depth franchise, though. Yeah, you really mimic my thoughts there. I feel that there's a foundation here to go a lot further than Madden 18 did from a gameplay front. But from a feature front in franchise, it's better, but it's not leaps and bounds better. It's a step in the right direction, but given how long it's taken to get here, you'd like to see us take a couple larger leaps. Here watching from Germany, I always hope there is a video before I go to sleep. Well, that's awesome to hear, Lothar. I'm glad you enjoy the content. And I want to do a better job of making sure you know when to expect content. So you're not always like wondering or just waiting on a notification and then being surprised by it. Like, I know I prefer when I can plan around when something is going to go live. If there's a stream I want to watch or, some sort of competitive event. Of course, I want to know when it's going to happen so I can plan ahead, get other stuff out of the way, get food ready. So, I will try to do a much better job about that starting this week. And that's also an area where the way I'm going to keep you updated is if you subscribe and have notifications on, I'm going to be using more of the community feature, which is basically just kind of like a little feed, almost like a Twitter feed or a Facebook feed, where I can post messages in there. You can interact, and I can interact back with you, but it will give you an idea of what's going to happen. So if you go to my MrHurriicane, youtube.com/MrHurriicane community tab, yeah, it's /MrHurriicane/community. You'll see different posts I have there, like I did one yesterday, saying that the Bears franchise video would be coming today, which it is after this live stream. I have a little screenshot there of a cool graphic I had from the game. And then using that feature, I can keep you up to date on what videos are coming and when. And I think that I should do a much better job of that. Sometimes as someone who's like, I spend a lot of time around the content and everything, I forget that a lot of you aren't me. As a matter of fact, most of you aren't me. And, you're wondering when the next video is. And you have no clue when to expect it. Second down, Alex Smith has it knocked away. How have we not picked him off more? I've broken out long runs in Madden 19 where the running back appears to be down but never touches the floor, then gets back up and breaks away like an NCAA. Has that happened to you? It's extremely rare that it'll happen. I haven't had it happen in Madden 19. In other Maddens I have, but it's rare they don't ever touch the ground. It was a lot more common in Madden in NCAA for that to happen. Are you playing MUT at all this year? I haven't yet. So if I do, you know, I don't know when it's going to be. I'm not looking to do MUT for YouTube this year. I didn't want to put the time into it, and I'm not going to buy packs. So, and also, like with the Browns rebuild and everything, like I got plenty of things to do that are going to take up time and be a lot of fun. As Bo Scarborough gives me the longest run I've had on Madden 19. It's a 70-yard touchdown. That stretch. Stretches have been my best friend in Madden 18. And that's the first one I've had look like a Madden 18 run. And it wasn't with a speed back. Although I don't think Scarborough has slow speed here at all. So let's watch it again. Got 22 personnel, 2 tight ends, 2 backs. Got a good double team on the outside. Tight end gets a piece. CJ Ham gets a piece. We got a tight end out here on a corner, so that's a pretty easy win. Zach Miller is a good blocker. And Scarborough just can't be caught. What do you think of Alex Smith in real life? He's one of those quarterbacks like how Tony Romo has been and other quarterbacks from time to time fall into this category, but they're good quarterbacks, but no matter what, they're always going to catch flack. They're always going to be criticized. And it's, you know, anybody who isn't elite can fall into this category at one time or another. You know, it can be Phillip Rivers. It could be Kirk Cousins. It could be Tony Romo, Eli Manning. All those quarterbacks end up being punchlines at one time or another. Oh yeah, you like that, Chris? Got the Auburn quarterback here, handing off to an Alabama Crimson Tide running back. That's what the world needs. The Tiger Tide connection. Love Bo was hoping the Seahawks took him in the past draft. Man, that would have been a cool fit. I would have liked that for sure. But I am a Rashad Penny fan, so excited to see what he can do. Some of you know this. I was a big Rashad Penny fan in this last draft. I thought he was one of the better backs. And when he went round 1, I was like, my love is justified. When I like a running back and he goes super early or something, or any player, I'm going to feel at least temporarily justified. Phillip Rivers is underrated. I've always liked Phillip Rivers. Well, actually, a couple years ago, I thought they should replace him because he wasn't playing very well, and then he started playing a lot better. Rivers' accuracy is pretty special, especially for a back who has such a quarterback who has such a weird throwing motion. You know, when you enter sports as a young kid, you're always taught to do things a certain way. But then you got people with throwing motions like Phillip Rivers, and you got batting stances out there that are weird. I know growing up, like Gary Sheffield, Frank Council had 2 of the weirdest ones out there. They can't say anything when the process works. Scarborough. Is Eli Manning a Hall of Famer? I don't know. I don't think he should be, but he might make it in. Oops. Was it a downgrade for the Redskins to get Alex Smith over Kirk Cousins? That's hard. I almost feel like it was a bit of a lateral move to an extent. Well, not necessarily, because Alex Smith is a lot better with turnovers at this point. I feel like their caliber of quarterback is very close, but Kirk Cousins is more of a fantasy football quarterback, and Alex Smith is more of a ball control, defensive coordinator style quarterback. It seems like somebody that Mike Zimmer would have liked, because he takes care of the football and he's developed into a pretty good thrower. And, you know, you can make some comparisons between him and Teddy, and the Vikings love Teddy. Nick, thank you for the super chat. You should use the Bengals for the franchise. I've considered them. Maybe even being the one to fire Marvin Lewis. Would it even work? If you try firing Marvin Lewis in Madden 19, does he still just like show up next year for preseason? He just won't go away. Will Tyrod Taylor have a starting job if the Browns move on from him? No. I don't think that there's a team with an opening for him. Not this year, anyway. I kind of like Washington this year as sort of an under-the-radar team in the NFC. But losing Darius Geis certainly hurts. And the NFC is just so loaded that you can't just be decent and hope to get by. Decent teams are still going to go 6-7 wins. I think the game crashes if you try to fire him. Yeah, I just don't see it working. If you're the owner and you try to fire Marvin Lewis, I think Mike Brown just takes the team back from you and you get kicked to the curb. 8 of 25. Smith was not good in here whatsoever. That was one of the worst quarterback games I've seen in Madden 19. Bo Scarborough. Jimmy Graham, buck 46. I do think Tyrod deserves a chance without the front office trying to undercut him or not go all in on him. That was a problem with the Bills for so long, that it just seemed like they weren't all in. Like when they let all those receivers go. Granted, they weren't, they weren't all great receivers or anything, but they had flashed some potential. Like they let Sammy Watkins go and Robert Woods go all in the same year, and he still helped them get 9 wins. You think the Chiefs take a step back with Mahomes? I think because of his inexperience, they could be good for a win or two less than they saw a year ago, especially if the Chargers are who they should be. Then I think the Chargers could take that division because on paper, they should. But I feel that Mahomes is going to succeed. It's just how successful is the full year one? Could be pretty good. They added Sammy Watkins, and they have the talent there around him. I feel their defense has taken a step back, though, in recent years, so they're not the same defensive team. Like the Chiefs had a crazy defense a few years ago, but now they're going to be more of an offensive team, and I think they're built to do it. I just wonder if they're built to do it this year. I also think that Kareem Hunt takes a step back, although he kind of took a step back after taking a step forward as a rookie. I'm not a huge Kareem Hunt guy now. I was when he was on my fantasy team scoring touchdowns every week. Cannot stand Phillip Rivers. Is it because of his fiery personality or because you're going to get like a fourth quarter interception? I feel like the whole Chargers thing is either you win in dominant fashion or you blow the game with like 2 minutes left. I'm trying to find some numbers here on Phillip Rivers. A site that I love is ProFootballReference.com. There's also ProBaseballReference.com. And there are so many things that you can find out here if you know how to utilize the tools in their database. So I'm looking at Phillip Rivers right now. I'm trying to see, like, if I can find all his interceptions by quarter. I'm not sure if I can be able to pull it up right now. Will the Jets trade Bridgewater? I think there's a chance, especially if both he and Darnold play well. If they want to start Darnold, I could see them trading Teddy and rolling with McCown as the backup. I want to see Teddy play anywhere but Green Bay. I just want to see Teddy Bridgewater play football. Yeah, there's a play index. I'm not sure exactly how to find what I'm looking for. I think I've pulled it up before. I'm not going to be able to figure it out right now. Anyway, I think we're about wrapped up here for the day. A lot of fun back and forth with all of you guys today. We'll be doing a lot more of these streams as well. Oh, JT Golden sends a super chat. Thoughts on the new progression system? I think it's a step in the right direction. Allow me to demonstrate some of the stuff here. If anybody has 2 points, that'd be perfect. And of course, no one does. But I think that it makes more sense. You can't just put all points into one rating or something like that. So with Demarius Randall, we want to upgrade his zone coverage here, or his zone archetype. And as a result, he gets +1 play rec, +2 tackle, +2 zone coverage. In the past, if you were upgrading this yourself, you probably wouldn't put any points into tackle. You probably just put it all in the coverage, play rec, and awareness. And I feel it doesn't really represent how players truly get better. But at the same time, if players are getting faster, players are getting stronger, which I've seen, that I do take some issue with. I want to see if I can get one here. Deion Buchanan. No speed boost, but I've seen it done from a coverage boost. I will do as many of these as I can to try and find one. Didn't get one here. It doesn't seem super common, but the thing is, I'm not sure it should be a thing at all. Oh, I should have done agile. That would have been a good one for acceleration or agility. So didn't get any on those updates. Thank you for the super chats, Mr. Magic. Is Mason Rudolph the long-term quarterback for Pittsburgh? Not sure about that, but I kind of like Mason Rudolph. I think he's a good pocket passer, but I'm not sure if he has if he's good enough. Maybe he's just a backup type. Bridgewater to Packers confirmed now that Kane is against it. No, they got Hundley and Kaiser. I feel like I'm safe, especially after they traded for Kaiser. I feel very good about the Packers not getting Teddy Bridgewater ever. I'm not sure I could handle that. I might have to take like a leave of absence if they did that. What if John Ross got faster from an upgrade? He got jumping, and that's a tough one to get up. That's a physical trait. So there's one. Is there another menu where you can see your updates? Upgrade possibilities? Because I know there was like a spend team XP button in the old Madden 18. Is there an equivalent menu here that shows all the points and all their, all the players and their skill points available? Rudolph is a great sleeper quarterback for franchises in Madden 19. I would agree. I think you could go somewhere with him in a game like this. Is this the only way you can kind of go through to find available skill points. Let's go Troy Hill here. I'm trying to see if I can get a speed upgrade. I've had it happen once, which I'm glad it hasn't happened much. There it is. So I just got Troy Hill faster. I got him better zone, better tackle, play rec, and awareness. And so I wonder, if I played like 3 years and say I unlocked, you know, what would be reasonable for Troy Hill? Because think about it. Every skill point boosts an archetype and overall point. And I think it boosts just your overall rating of 1.2. So you're not going to get like 20 skill points of very many players. So what's realistic? Getting like, maybe in Troy Hill's career, you can become like an 82. So 10 skill points. If he gets like a speed boost 10% of the time once, I'm not too worried about that. But I don't want to see a player go from like 92 speed to 97 speed as he gets like older. CJ Ross over John Ross, I gotta agree. Let's go with the Lindenwood project here, Pierre Desir. Catching goes up, that's pretty cool. Now, Carl Klug's a bit of a veteran, so if he got a speed boost, that would be a pretty egregious thing to me. I wouldn't give a speed boost to anybody under the age of 25. I don't think anybody can get faster after 25. I'm sure there's exceptions, but I think they're rare. I'm getting some fantasy questions. I would like to do some streams where we talk a bit more fantasy football. I'm trying to get some research in and whatnot for stuff that I want to do this year, whether it be best ball leagues or fantasy football leagues. So I'm definitely going to be having some talks with all of you here in the streams. Thank you, Mr. Magic, for a super chat. I like the new system because you can really develop sleepers. I think that you could do it in the past a little bit, but I do like this feature specifically for the scheme fit deal, where players who fit your scheme, they're going to be progressing faster. I feel that's a great addition. Let's, I want to actually show you an example of this in action. Oh, training's complete for this week. I have to move on to the next one. All right, so let's go to weekly training. What you'll see is that players with a puzzle piece get bonus XP. And that bonus XP is worth more than like the original drill, and it's much more than we're seeing for the other players. So, okay. Deion Buchanan, I like this. We got players here who are getting a boost that aren't even some bonus XP that aren't from the puzzle piece. That might be because of my coach. I might have a boost to those positions here, left and right outside backer. But Flowers got a much larger boost than anybody because he fits the scheme. Offensively, the tight ends fit pretty well. And that's what this scheme was about, this drill. Will Foles get traded, and if so, what will Philly get for him? I don't think so, because Wentz still isn't back yet, and I think they got to make sure that he's still good to go. But also, like, if Wentz goes down, someone's going to have to play. Last year, we saw the value of a good backup quarterback with Case Keenum facing Nick Foles in the NFC Championship game. I don't think you can afford to give up a good backup quarterback because you're only one, wrong hit away from having to play that guy. You don't want to be the one caught out there with some, project. You also don't want to be out there with just like a Brandon Whedon, who's just kind of a guy who can get through reps in practice. You want someone who can win you a football game. Okay, he did have a training boost here, so that is one way to get boosted XP, but the puzzle piece is the best way. No, the Raiders are not trading Mac, they're just being weird. They would be out of their minds to trade Khalil Mack. Their defense has been terrible with him. Imagine without Khalil Mack. Right, they're the defense you always pick on in fantasy. They can't afford to get worse. All right, I think that's about it for today. Then all caught up on Super Chats, got through a lot of your questions today. I really enjoyed the stream tonight with us just chilling out, talking football. I'm hoping that we have a lot of conversations like this moving forward. So please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, especially if you want to know when content is coming out. Subscribe and you'll get notified when I post community updates, and you will know exactly when things are going to be happening here on the channel. So thank you all again. And remember that the Bears franchise is going live. Let's make this fun. Let's post it live right about soon. 1 second. All right, everybody. See you all next stream. Bears franchise going live. Oh, one more. Mr. Magic, any chance Bell leaves Pittsburgh? Yes, I'd say so, because they're not going to tag him yet again. That would be just a ridiculously high number. So I think that either they'll come to some sort of an agreement, or some team will give him what he wants. There'd be a lot of bidding for him if he hit the open market. Well, that's it for today, everybody. See you all again soon.